Hello, this is Parmjit Singh. Thank you very much for stopping by to the Passing Clouds, coaching ideas, thoughts, meanderings, and conversations. So, when our daughter was in elementary school, many a time when I would pick her up from the school, I would ask, "How was your school?" And there was variety of responses that would come by, and here and there she will say she feels sad, she feel disappointed. And I would just simply ask her, "Where do you feel it?" And she will oftenly draw a blank, but I will keep on asking, "Tell me, where do you feel your sadness? Do you feel in your head? Do you feel in your shoulders? Do you feel in your chest?" And many a time she would actually point out where she feels it. And the reason I'm actually sharing this with you is that whenever we think of emotions, we usually think of our brain, but emotions don't are not felt in the brain. Emotions are felt in the body. Body is a kind of a receptacle or a habitat or a vessel in which emotions play a part. So every time you feel a sense of sadness, it will find some location in the body. Or every time you feel angry, you might find that the body is responding to that anger in a particular way. And anytime you feel a disappointment, it may find some location and a place in the body. And if we don't pay attention to those locations and those expressions in the body, they tend to accumulate. And when they tend to accumulate and are not taken care of over the long term, then they fester and then they lead to various issues that may show up in actual physical conditions. So recently, a paper was published in the Journal of Scientific Reports this year, which suggested that people who practice mindfulness, one of the areas which get structurally changed over the period of time is insula. Now, insula is very interesting. Insula is part of the body awareness process. So, anytime you're able to sense your body, this is the part of the body which play a part, especially the right insula, which is related to the sense of self. Whenever you pay attention to yourself, when the attention is directed to yourself rather than directed away from yourself, insula will come in play. And this is also another area which actually showed up in that study was related to pain processing. And insula is very much involved in pain processing as well. It does that top-down control over the pain perception and pain transmission. So you will notice that when people meditate over the period of time, their sense of self, the way they relate to themselves, gets recalibrated and reconfigured. And by doing so, their sense of self allows them to see the pain in a very different way. As a student meditator, we sit sometime for a long time, and those 1 hour sittings can be physically challenging and painful. And it is our opportunity to work with the idea of pain, especially physical pain that arises out of sitting in a particular way without moving your hands and your legs. So this particular study is very interesting because it is a meta-analysis, and just for information, meta-analysis is more, I would say, useful or better evidence when a single study. So this is a meta-analysis of various studies done to see if this kind of a structural changes that happens in the brain due to mindfulness practice is sustainable. It actually shows up across the studies in various ways. So next time when you're wondering what mindfulness does to us, it does a lot of wonderful things. It changes the way we function. And function can snap back to its original default lines, but it can also change the way our brain and body function in the long term by making the changes a lot more sustainable and modification a lot more having longevity over the period of time. So whenever you're thinking about body awareness, whenever you're thinking that your ability to sense yourself, um, and to improve your health and well-being, might be actually useful to think that whenever you practice, you are in fact checking into your body. You will notice that many of the practices require you to check in the body, and that's done with the intention so that you develop that body awareness. Because every emotion you experience will find some translations into the body. And if we are not aware of the body, we are more likely or unlikely to notice what is happening in the body. And before you know it, actually, what we call snowballs into various issues, simple issues, which could be neutralized by simply doing some small things. You will notice that athletes who are not very attentive to their body oftenly injure themselves because they keep on pushing beyond the way the body starts to signal that something is about to snap or something is about to go wrong. So in the context of a practical application of this paper is that every time you sit with yourself and you pay attention to yourself, you are actually making yourself more perceptive of your body and perceptive of your habitat you live in, so that you can become aware of all the emotions waterfalling into your body. And before any major damage can be done by those accumulated emotions over the period of time, you can undo that. Well, that's it for today. If you are interested in mindfulness and if you are interested in exploring how it changes the brain, the paper I'm talking about is mentioned in the description. Please check it out. And if you are interested in actually learning more about mindfulness, just reach out to us. We'll be happy to guide you along. And thank you for stopping by. And until next time, stay curious and reasonably non-judgmental. I will see you next time. Bye bye for now.
Please subscribe to the channel, like and share. Thank you.